Hi everyone, welcome back to Project No Buy. Today's video is kind of a stuff-centric one, going through all the clothes that I did not wear this past summer and doing my kind of seasonal declutter. Now before we get into it, I'm not physically decluttering these things yet. I'm going to put them away in storage separate from my closet, so probably in a fabric bin under the bed. And I'm going to reevaluate the next time the season comes around and see how my attachment is to these things at that time, or whether or not they have practical use. I'm certainly not going to be sending these things to ThredUp again. I might decide to relist some of these things before the season. I can't say for sure, but for now, nothing is going to physically leave. It's just going to be stored away. So getting right into the clothes, I have the pile here on my lap, and going in no particular order. We do have some socks and underwear, so I'm just gonna toss that aside. Nobody really needs to see that in detail. Some of, again, my issues lately have been as a result of changing size and not wanting to suffer through wearing clothes that are slightly too small. So a lot of this stuff is because of the sizing. If it's too small, it's just gonna have to go. It's gonna have to get put away. Likewise, this is a workout top. I don't actually know if it's too small or not. It still has the tag on because I've never worn it. And that's a symbol, or a sign rather, that I probably don't need to hang on to it and keep it. And this, in fact, might be a good candidate for resale because it is a new with tags girlfriend collective workouts top, and somebody might actually actively be looking for something like this. In the workout top category is this tank top. I got this a long time ago, and I rarely wear it, and part of it is the color. I just don't really like this color, honestly, on me. I like it objectively, but it's just not something I reach for to wear. It's a little inconvenient. The back is really strappy, which is kind of nice actually, but it's one of those things that the proof is in the pudding, and I might conceptually like it, but I don't actually wear it, and I don't think I would miss it if I put it away. And this is kind of the test, right? The final test, if I find myself thinking, oh, where's that tank top? I want to wear that, then I can go grab it and put it back in my drawer. But I would love to have more empty space in the drawers, and so that's gonna get put away for now. One more workout top. This is another kind of cropped tank top, and these two tank tops I think have lasted so long because they have the removable pads, and I have had varying levels of comfort in terms of the free the nip movement or whatever. And up until this point, I have felt obligated to cover that up. This is going to be TMI, but if I don't have padding, it will be visible. That tends to be the case. And I have just decided that if people don't want to see that, they can not look, because that's just a natural part of a human body. And I maybe am in a stage of my life where I'm less prone to sexualizing things. I don't know. It could be a me problem or a me solution. But if somebody is going to look at body parts and sexualize them, that's their problem and not mine. I'm sorry if it makes any of you uncomfortable, if I'm in a video here and you can see you-know-whats, but anyway, that's why these tank tops have stuck around, because they have that protective layer, and I have started wearing the tank tops I have that don't have that, but are still kind of this material, and I prefer that experience for my own comfort, and therefore I'm going to put those away and see how things keep on developing. Along with those workout tops is this workout pair of leggings. Now, these are a little tricky because I just never wear them. I really like them. I have another pair in black that I wear a lot more. They aren't actually the same brand as that tank top, although they do match very well. And so because it's kind of like a workout outfit, I'm going to put them away together. And chances are somebody in my life will take this from me. So I don't know that I'm going to be hanging on to these for an indefinite period of time. But because they do match so well, I have chosen to put away these because I also never wear them. And so it's one of those things where I like the material of these. I like the fit. It's just leggings. They have a practical purpose, but they kind of have a matching set aspect with that. And honestly, if I don't have these in my drawer, I'll just wear the ones that are in my drawer. So it doesn't really cost me anything to put them away. All right, now we get to some summer tops. Oh, another pair of underwear. We'll get rid of that. We have two tank tops, and one of these is a top I've had for a long time and contemplated decluttering for a long time and just kept because it's a sensible tank top, right? Like if I wanted to wear a tank top to work, this one would be one that nobody would complain about. Very bra friendly. Again, I've stopped really caring about that. So, but again, it's not something I reach for. I have other work appropriate bra friendly tops, and I just don't like them enough to want to wear them. And this is an example of a top that I would wear instead of this one. And this is a knit vest. So if I would wear this instead of this, there's no need to have this one in my closet. Now, this hot pink top is a regret. I thrifted this during my January relapse of shopping this year, and I already don't like it, which is sad. I was chasing nostalgia with this shirt. And because it was cheaply priced off of Mercari and I was already kind of off the wagon of shopping, and I think I used it in a video recently where I used this as an example of something that wasn't necessarily totally my style, but I'd still like to have it. I don't like to have it, actually, is the truth. And I haven't worn it once organically. And I was chasing nostalgia. I had a picture of myself in a tank top this color. It was a cheap polyester garment from my fast fashion days in college. And I had that picture pop up in memories, probably in January, and saw this on Mercari and thought, hey, I could have a better version of that top. This one's silk, it's thrifted, like, here it is. I can relive my youth and look as beautiful as I did in my 20s. And no, I don't even want to look like that anymore. And there's no way that I would wear this top. I mean, I've been saying all this time, like, I'm more okay with being braless and things showing, but not in silk, right? Like, I need some defense, some knit fabric. Like, I'm not totally free yet in terms of comfort level. And I don't really have undergarments that work with this top. Not to mention, I don't want to sweat in a 100% silk top and then deal with washing it. It's like, it's just not for me anymore. And what a stupid thing to do, to buy it this year when I thought I was all gung-ho and doing a real no-buy in January. All right, getting into some more tops. These are more oldies but goodies, or not goodies. A graphic crop tank. I just didn't reach for this at all. And, I just don't think I need that in my drawer. Again, from my youth and fast fashion days. Actually, from my youth is that one, not nostalgia purchased. This is a turtleneck shirt that I got thrifted. I'm not 100% sure about this because I don't have any turtlenecks other than this, but I also never wear this one. It's only if I think, oh, I want a turtleneck under the sweatshirt or something, will I reach for this? And that's happened maybe twice in the last 2 years. And so maybe the fact that I don't have any other turtlenecks is a sign that I don't really like turtlenecks. And so I'm going to put this away and see how it feels to not have it. It was also thrifted, and I think I've had this possibly since high school. This could be one of my oldest shirts. And I never really wear it. That's why it's still in such good condition, I guess. Now this one might be, well, I was going to say it might be a surprise, but maybe not, because I just don't even know if this was ever my style. This really feels to me like a trend piece where everybody liked striped shirts. It goes in and out of fashion so often. It looks objectively trendy, objectively stylish rather, maybe not trendy. Like, I think the striped shirt is kind of timeless, honestly, but it's objectively stylish and kind of feels like everybody should have a striped shirt is probably what I literally heard in fashion videos when I was watching them. And so here's my striped shirt. It's a nice one. It's 100% cotton. It's from Cezanne. Now, the sleeves I have a gripe with. They're not full length. Certainly not on me. They're like awkward 3/4 length. I don't do that anymore. I don't do awkward lengths in pants or sleeves, right? Like either full length or short sleeves. Give me liberty or give me death. Give me long sleeves and pants, or give me minis, like that's it. And I just don't feel like myself in this. Like, it feels a little bit, I don't know if it's the cut or the print itself, but it just feels a little stuffy and I don't know, like a little mature, or like, not saying that I'm not mature. Like, I think people of all ages can wear a striped shirt, but for the clothes that I like to have on my body, like maybe it's the sleeve thing really. I don't know. I just don't really wear this. Every time I do wear this, I feel like it's because I should and not because I want to. And I would feel more comfortable in a different shirt. The neckline is also kind of wide, and so it also shows bra straps. I do often tend to wear tank tops, especially in cooler months, under clothes, and my tank top straps will be showing under this, and it just isn't necessarily the look that I love when I would prefer maybe a button up or button down, where the tank top underneath can look kind of intentional. You can either show it unbuttoned or you don't really see it if the shirt is more buttoned. And so that's kind of saying this is stuffy and mature, and then I go wear my collared button downs, which are definitely more stuffy and mature. I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is it feels more difficult for me to look effortless in this, which is a me thing. It's not the style or anything like that. It is also maybe that element of I have this because I thought I should have a striped shirt and not because I really, really love the striped shirt. I did find the best version that I thought I could have for myself. So, you know, there is that. There's some buttons for interest on the side because the ones without buttons were just too basic for me. And I guess in other kind of unexpected positives is that it makes a really good maternity shirt, or it did for me. And if that were ever to happen again, then I would probably go back to wearing this. And so I will keep it. I will save it as insulation from wanting to buy any other striped shirts because I already have one. I can feel myself being in danger of that. If I get rid of this, I could see myself in the future thinking I need a striped shirt, and it's something I already have and it gives me insurance from that purchase, so it will definitely not be leaving my wardrobe, full stop. Now, I think the last things I have here are kind of in the same category. One button-up shirt, which is my core style, but I did realize that I had different ones. There was a pink one that I had under my bed that I didn't realize I had before, or I had put it away in a previous declutter because I thought, oh, I'll wear this one and the blue one. And I think it didn't even make it onto my wardrobe try-on, but I have duplicates of this already, in other words, and I swapped out the pink one for this one because this one I feel like is a little too washed out for me. This is the Rainbow Breezy. If you know, you know. It's the brand that I have all the clothes from. And I just think that I was influenced a little too much into this purchase, and having the pink, the blue, and the black is enough for me. I am likewise putting away the matching shorts. These are actually one of the more comfortable pairs of shorts that I own. But again, the color, whenever I wear them, especially as an ensemble, it just feels like I'm fading away, like I'm wearing nothing. And it just doesn't feel right. None of my other, shoes and bags are really a good match because I don't really wear a lot of light colors in those. And so I just feel like it's not a look for me. And again, if I need another button down, it's going to be under the bed. If people in my life grow into these sizes and want to wear these, they can wear them. And for now, they're not going anywhere. I'm just going to remove them from my wardrobe and see how it feels. The next item is another one of those pairs of shorts. This one is a size smaller than those because I got them resale, and before I realized I wanted oversized everything. I do have the matching shirt. However, I do also have these in pants form, and I question whether I need shorts and pants. Oh, I do need to wash these because they do have a stain on them, so I will throw those in the wash. But I do question whether I need both the pants and the shorts, given that I can wear denim shorts or my black shorts with the blue striped shirt, and it might look better anyway. It might have more interest in the outfit. And honestly, summer, we've just been through summer, and I didn't wear my shorts enough to justify owning even 3 or 4 pairs of shorts. I probably only need 2. And, that being my black shorts and my denim shorts. I have mini skirts too that I haven't decluttered just because they feel more like a fun fantasy item that I want to keep, or that I want to kind of pretend that I'm going to wear. Whereas these are the items that I've realized I'm not even going to pretend to wear them. I don't even want to be feeling like I should wear them. Whereas I'm still okay with feeling like I should wear a green mini skirt for whatever reason. There's no rhyme or reason. That's just where we're at today. And then the black pants. So like the blue shorts, I have pants and shorts of these, but for whatever reason, the waistband of this feels tight, and I just have less tolerance for a tight waistband. And for whatever reason, the back of these pants has faded a little bit and looks kind of rusty orange. I can't find the exact spot. It doesn't stop me from wearing them, or it hasn't stopped me from wearing them, but here it is. It's kind of, the color is kind of not black anymore. And I might try to re-dye them eventually if I decide I want to wear these. But again, it's a case of temporary removal from my wardrobe just to see how things feel. I have a long black pair of linen pants where the waistband is not tight, and so I would always choose to wear those over these. And honestly, the other factor here is whenever I do laundry, I'm kind of overwhelmed because I have so many clothes, first world problems, that it can be 3 or 4 weeks before I do laundry. And I do rewear a lot of things, so it's not just like 3 or 4 weeks of everyday outfit changes. But I will get to the point where I've worn the black linen ones and these are the only ones left. I could just do laundry at that point. Rather than spinning it out another few days and wearing these, I could not have to suffer through the tight waistband if I just washed the other pants. So that's kind of what I want to encourage more. I do have one other pair of pants that are not seasonal. My black faux leather pants are kind of on the chopping block. I'm going to keep them out and wear them during fall, winter this year and see how I feel. but stylistically, I'm just not vibing with them anymore. And it's something that I've mistakenly repurchased. I had a pair of black faux leather pants in 2021 in my teaching year. And I did wear them because they were one of the options of non-jeans that I had. And now I can wear jeans to work, no issues with that. And so I don't really need the faux leather pants, and I don't actually wear them. And they're also technically against my concert dress code. I have actually worn them to some of the rock shows, but I guess I'm not technically supposed to wear them. And I don't want to say I'm not a rule breaker, but I guess when it comes to a dress code, I'd rather probably follow it than not, because I just don't like people having to comment on my clothes. So I'm probably not going to risk wearing them even to the rock shows, but we'll see. We'll see. They'll live another season, and maybe at the end of fall, winter, they'll be here on the chair of decluttering. I think the leather pants are also something that I thought I should have because they were so trendy, or they go in and out of trend. And so I don't know, maybe I should just keep them under the bed to insulate me from purchasing another pair or being interested in trying another pair. All right, now we move on to shoes. And this has been a tumultuous category for me lately because, again, I have had some health problems in terms of throwing my back out, throwing my ankle out, and it's just not worth wearing uncomfortable shoes anymore. And some of these shoes I was so attached to. It'll make sense when I start showing them, but I guess I'll start with maybe the oldest ones first. And the most sentimental of them are these cowboy boots that my husband got for me when we were dating. And I remember at the store, the lady was talking about how they should fit like a glove. Your foot should pop when it comes in there. I was actually thinking of getting the size bigger, and they just didn't. They didn't fit like a glove. My foot didn't have that pop when I put them in. And so I thought, okay, I'll get the size that fits snug, and maybe they'll relax a little bit with wear. I have actually worn them a considerable amount. They don't look it at all. You know, they're not really that worn, except maybe in the backs where I scuff them a little bit walking. But I wish I had gotten the size bigger, and then I could still wear them. And I objectively still like them, right? Like, they're just classic cowboy boots, and I got them in Texas as a gift. And, you know, it's just kind of sad. I wish there was something I could do about it, but whenever I put them on, I just have this immediate sensation of my right foot especially being squished. And I've looked into stretching them. I might, as a last resort, take them to a cobbler and see if they can stretch them. And I've done that before, actually, with another pair of boots, and it did kind of work. But I just, for now, I can't wear them in the condition that they're in terms of being a little too tight. They're also just a little too short in the toe now. And so I might just have to make these a sentimental item. I don't know, maybe I should get the identical pair in a size up. I'm sure they still make at least boots similar to these. I don't know. But it's not going to be something I do anytime soon. And certainly there's something special about this original pair that we shot for in person while we were dating in Texas. So they're not going anywhere, but I just have removed them from the cycle of clothing that I actively wear and choose from just for comfort reasons. Might also have something to do with the level of heel, because they're kind of a considerable chunky heel, and even that level of being off balance is maybe not great for my aging back. Sticking with the boots, these fabulous boots. Again, I think killer shoes is something I thought I should have, right? Because that's one of the iconic fashion staples, I feel like. People get excited about shoes, about beautiful shoes. I think these are objectively beautiful shoes. You know, the crocodile print, the kind of hidden elastic here with the, you know, how you get them on and off. These are kind of designer brand, and they also have that kind of block heel and the nice, whatever it's called here, where the sole of the shoe goes out so the toes don't get scuffed up. You know, so they're really well made, and I remember getting compliments on these. I still get compliments whenever I wear them. And I am still tempted to wear them just because of how they look. And again, whenever I put them on, I get this sinking feeling of, oh, they're just too small. And when I'm standing up, my feet feel uncomfortably tilted forward because of the heel, and it's just, you know, emotional. And I just have fond memories of wearing these to work in Houston and thinking I could conquer the world in these boots, and getting called out on the street for a nice outfit, you know, not catcalled, but like, oh, I like your outfit and nice boots kind of thing. And it's like, people notice these kinds of shoes. And again, you know, like, look at this elegant shape of the toe, and I will be keeping them, but I just don't know if I can wear them. And it's one of those things that I am a little sad about. And hopefully, I mean, can your feet shrink with older age? I don't know. But we'll see. Time will tell what happens to those boots. In the same vein, these ones are not as tight, so I can still wear them. But my beloved red boots that I've worn in video before and talked about, but these were thrifted. You might already recognize the style or designer if you have watched the same content I have. These ones do not have that kind of sole coming out, so the fronts were already pre-scuffed when I bought them, used, which is nice because then I don't have to worry about it. But again, the issue here is this heel. I just don't know if I can wear heeled shoes at all anymore, or if I do, it'll only be on days where I walk from the parking garage to work and back, and the one that's across the street, not the one that's far away. I just don't know. I mean, keep them for the joy of them, but I just don't know if I can bring myself to actually wear them, just through the danger of injury that seems to be more and more recurrent these days. And then lastly in the boots category are these Doc Marten Chelsea boots. I think they're vegan, so they're not real leather. And the top here has never broken in. They're just so stiff and they hurt the front of my legs. Like, however, I don't know if it's just a me thing where my legs are just shaped wrong, but they just really, really irritate the front of my legs here. And again, I just don't have time to wear uncomfortable shoes anymore. I'm just less willing to be uncomfortable in the clothes that I'm wearing. And so these might get resold actually, because they don't necessarily fill me with joy looking at them. You know, they're not like a perfect style match or necessarily like a killer shoe to me. They're just a black pair of Chelsea boots with a round toe. Like, if I wanted to have another pair in a better material or better size, then I could probably do so on the secondhand market. Or I did actually go into a trading company with my husband because he was looking for some pants that were very specific, and I saw another pair of black boots kind of like this and even tried them on just for fun and kind of fleetingly wanted them, but then realized no, I don't actually want them, and thrifted the pair of boots that I thrifted last month instead, and I'm happy with that. Should I show you those in this video? I guess if I don't, then I've kind of catfished you all, so I'll go get them and show you. And anybody who doesn't want to see kind of haul content can look away now. But these are the boots that I got for $30 on Poshmark. The goal was to kind of replace all three of these boots that I will no longer wear: the cowboy boots, the gray boots, and the black boots. And, you know, maybe I'll still keep these in the closet, but might not reach for them. But I do have these as a replacement. They're much flatter in the heel. They might not look like it, but in terms of like how much of a slope there is, they're flatter. They still have the kind of Western style. So they kind of are symbolically like the gray boots and these boots. And they're just bigger. Like the size of them is bigger. The toe box is wider. And so this is what I will wear anytime that I would have worn one of those three pairs in previous years. All right, there's actually 3 more pairs of shoes that I'm letting go of. And, you know, for somebody who had 30 pairs of shoes at one point, this, I guess, will represent a loss or whatever of a subtraction of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs of shoes. So maybe I have 23 now. I'll have to recount because there might be concert shoes that aren't in that count, but all in all, a much more reasonable number of shoes to own, right? So, right? This next pair of shoes is another pair that I bought in January of this year. I know. When am I gonna learn? It's still happening. But they're the silver ones that I purchased in January as part of the birthday relapse. And these are the ones that I wore during the concert in the festival that were squishing my foot because of this kind of long toe box, I guess. And the top of this was crushing my right foot. It's always the right foot. Maybe my right foot is just abnormally tall. Now that I call it out, I think I see the part of my right foot that's higher than the left. Anyway, the left foot was fine, but the right foot was uncomfortable. And again, I have these because they're silver and shiny and loafer style, which is kind of trendy. And again, I was looking at the details. You know, this comes out across the front of the shoe so you won't scuff the front. And yeah, they were on sale at the time. I'm going to hang on to these just because they are kind of my non-black performing shoe option, but I just don't know if realistically I'll ever wear them again, and maybe they'll be decluttered in the next round of closet decluttering. I don't know. Next pair is fairly straightforward. Concert black, heels too high, can't really wear these anymore because I don't want to throw my back out again and risk having to take off of work and not get paid if I run out of sick leave or anything like that. And just suffering with a bad back, that's not any fun. So these will hopefully be rehomed. And again, I'm not in a hurry to do it. I can do it much more consciously and try to find somebody at work with the same shoe size that might want these, especially since I rarely wore heels anyway, only for the most formal concerts, and so they're still in almost new condition despite having them for a little while. Now the final pair is the last pair that may be replaced. And again, this is kind of the loosening of my hardcore no-buy goals, but again, in the interest of size and reasonable expression of style. And reasonable expression might have different definitions regardless of who you are, where you are in your style journey, or how much you care about clothes in general. And I have been breaking up with caring about clothes for these whole 2 years, and my attachment has shifted in that I don't think I'm a slave to trends anymore, and I'm not totally invested in having every outfit match my personal style, right? Like I can show up on camera now and not have makeup on, have glasses on, not really care if you see me in the same outfit twice, which is not where I was last year when I was still wearing more of the clothes that I thought I should be wearing, like the flower blouse, the black shirt with flowers on it, the green silk shirt, like these are things I tried to rotate through. The striped shirt even, I used to wear that in videos because I thought I should, because I thought it was like who I should be or the kind of style I would have if I was put together. I'm past that now. So you get me in my natural habitat here in my oversized vests and not appropriate underwear and putting that aside and, sweatshirts and whatever. But this last pair of shoes may be replaced in terms of like a one-to-one replacement. Not the same shoe necessarily, but with a thrifted version of a different brand that's larger. And these are my blue sneakers. And again, I had these before the brand of shoe was trending, and then everybody suddenly wanted to get this brand and style. Adidas Gazelles, I guess. And again, the problem with these is the top pushes down on my foot, and the front of them squeezes my toes. And I think I got these in the men's version, so I would have thought that wouldn't be a problem, but maybe I got the sizing wrong. I don't think I did, honestly. I think I got the equivalent men's size for women. But there's something about the tongue of these shoes as well that's not quite right. And I overlooked them for a long time. With socks, with longer socks, it's not really that bad. I've worn these traveling a lot. They've gotten wet. Maybe that's kind of shrunken the material. I don't know. But all in all, they would still have a lot of wear in them left if they weren't uncomfortably small. The reason for replacing these is because they are in one of my iconic colors in my wardrobe, and that color hasn't changed for the past 4 years or so. Like, I really like the dark, bright blue, and my husband has a matching pair, the exact same. In fact, he's left them on the floor over here, so I can show you. He's got the exact same bright blue shoes. We got them at the same time. His are actually much more worn than mine are because he only wears sneakers, and I have all these other boots to choose from, as you've seen. But I can't wear shoes that are too small, and it's non-negotiable anymore. And especially after throwing my back out, not once, but twice this summer. In fact, I'm recovering again from having thrown my back out. And I might talk more about that in another video if it comes up. But it's just something I'm not willing to compromise on. Freedom of movement, freedom of comfort, anything in that category, it just doesn't work. And it's kind of one of those things where a lot of things are leaving my wardrobe at the same time, right? This is 7 pairs of shoes that I have basically said I'm probably not going to be able to wear, even if I think I want to, right? Like the clothes are kind of different in that I don't think I want to wear those, and so it's time to put them away. I was wearing them because I thought I should. The shoes, I do want to wear them. Like the crocodile boots, the cowboy boots, the red boots especially, even the silver shoes. Like I do want to wear them. The blue sneakers, I want to wear them, but they're just not the size and fit anymore for me to be able to wear them comfortably. And that's, I guess, for me, one of the categories that I might be okay with a replacement for. Not replacing 7 pairs of shoes, right? Like, in no universe am I going to do that, because one of my goals, upon realizing that I had 30 pairs of shoes, was to get my number down. And I didn't intend for this to be the way that it happened in terms of decluttering a bunch of shoes, because the size just no longer works. But I guess if that's the way it happens, then, that's the way the cookie is crumbling. And I am not really offered the same kind of choice that I thought I might have in the matter, as far as maybe repurposing some of my sneakers or rehoming or you know, I didn't think it would be a case of I can't actually wear these for my own health and safety, and therefore my shoe collection is now in the 20s instead of the 30s. First world problems. Hopefully you knew that when you clicked on this video. This wasn't going to be an insightful discussion of the problems of capitalism and consumerism. This is like a personal recount of my emotional attachment unreasonably to some inanimate pieces of leather and plastic or whatever. But here we are, decluttering after the summer and spring seasons, I guess. And going into the new season, I guess this is kind of like my back to school declutter or back to school shopping as far as adding a new pair of shoes, which is something I feel like is kind of more common to do around back to school time when we evaluate what fits and what doesn't and what we need to go into the new school or new work year. Anyway, did I have anything else I wanted to share? I did write down a fashion contract with myself in my notes here, so I guess I'll share that just for posterity and then bid you farewell. So these are kind of like my wardrobe don'ts. Uncomfortable shoes, which means heels of any kind, mules or backless shoes, or shoes that squish the top of the foot. Uncomfortable fabrics and fits, faux leather, jackets that are tied across the back, I've already decluttered some of those, and overly formal fabrics like silk and cashmere. Turtlenecks, scoop necks, otherwise non-angular necklines, so straight across is good, tube top is good, square neck is good, deep V can be good as well. Crew neck is fine, that's kind of normal. Even a mock neck might be fine, but turtleneck, scoop necks, kind of round necks, not for me. Awkward lengths, anything midi, capri, give me either mini or maxi. Some exceptions for formal options where you might not want to wear a mini skirt, but it might just be a style that doesn't come in a maxi length, like that's fine. Or if it's one of those things where it's supposed to be longer, but I'm tall, so it's like mid-calf, like whatever for formal wear. I'm not going to worry about being flattered. Same for sleeves, either long full length or short or none. Nothing in between here in the kind of mid-arm elbow range. Like that's a no for me now. Non-negotiable no. Even with like t-shirts, I don't really like medium fits. I like either oversized or close to the body. And you know, this is arguably maybe in between, but it kind of feels more oversized because of the heavy material. That's kind of what I like. I'm gonna try not to stray too far from that from now on. If it's a duplicate, the answer is maybe, but there has to be clear proof of concept. So exact duplicates have actually been pretty good for me. So for example, the button-ups I have, all by the same brand. The tube tops that I have, again, all by the same brand. Tank tops that I use as undershirts, blazers, certain pairs of trousers. These are kind of my uniform dupes, as it turns out, right? The tube top, button down, specific pair of pants, blazer, is what I tend to wear to work. Adjacent dupes are usually bad news for me because there'll be some detail that's not quite right, or I will then have a favorite or preferred one. And it does happen to some extent with the exact dupes, but lesser, right? Like the blue button down, the pink, and the black, I do rotate through, and it gives me enough different options of the same to get through a week without looking like I'm wearing the same shirt, which again is not a problem. But I just prefer to have slightly different options. The different washes of jeans, you know, one light, one dark, again enables some variety there, but it's the exact same style and fit. The tube tops, again, different colors, same fit. Adjacent dupes will have slightly different fits or fabrics or materials, and hasn't worked out as well for me because there might be some reason that I don't like one version of it over another. Even the different tank top options I have, like the bright blue one, is a little bit more of a compressive fabric, so it's not my first choice. And I have to really want to wear that color to wear that shirt. And so I'm going to try to avoid duping things in function, you know, like getting another tube top, but not the exact dupe. And ultimately, I don't actually need any more clothing right now, so it's not giving myself permission to buy dupes that are exact. So in general, this is kind of maybe a little extra side point rather than a rule, since I'm not looking to add any more clothes to my wardrobe. Workout wear and homeware, it's got to be replacement only, and if anything, things are going to leave my workout and homeware drawers slowly and organically. One in, one out at a minimum, but preferably more out if I need to replace something. I guess kind of like the boots situation here where I had 4 pairs leave and 1 pair come in just based on necessity of sizing. Again, I have enough workout wear and homeware. I'd rather do less laundry more often. And again, I'm also more comfortable with the levels of coverage now that I wasn't before, and so I can now wear more of my stuff more often. Jewelry and watches, automatic no, or automatic be very, very suspicious, because I literally don't ever change the ones that I have and wear, or hardly ever, mostly for concerts, and I already have enough options. If I want jewelry or a watch, that is very probably a fleeting desire that will go away. Just given enough time. Tangents here, or asterisks here to add that any earrings that aren't on a completely round post, like some of them have that post that's like vertical in a way. I'll put a picture here, and it kind of cuts into your ear. I made the mistake of buying one of those pairs of earrings, I think, for the end of 2023, and they were kind of immediately decluttered as soon as I wore them, and I should have seen that before buying. Anything too dangly that I can't play the viola in, any necklaces that are too chunky, you know, automatic no's. Bracelets are kind of an automatic no. Hair accessories, same deal there. If I want something, be very suspicious. I probably won't actually use it. I have a whole bag of hair accessories that I rarely use. Makeup, I know it's kind of different, but it's kind of a fashion accessory. Same deal there. I'm about to do a video on how I regret all the makeup that I purchased during these 2 no-buy years, and the results will surprise you. No, they probably won't. I basically regret 99% of the makeup I purchased during this last year and a half, and I will go through why in that video. So with that, I will wrap this one up today. I was trying to do some short videos, but alas, I can't stop talking. So I will say bye for now. I would love to hear about your wardrobe, where you're at, what you've decluttered, etc., what you've learned in the process of regrets and mistakes, or even just things that weren't regrets and mistakes, but just have served their time and are ready to be let go of. I'd love to hear from you, and I will say bye for now for today, and see you in the next one.